Insider says Shedeur Sanders still stands behind Dillon Gabriel for the Browns coaches. Gabriel is ahead of Sanders in the eye of the coaching staff, but rarely in training camp has that position matched what we've seen on the field. The quarterback situation remains the story of camp, and Shedeur Sanders is settling in to lead 3 scoring drives in the most extended action of the summer won't make the team's consistent stance that Sanders is fourth in a line any less perplexing.
Getting over this, you went out in them streets and them streets wasn't hot for you, so now you go back to the old thing. That's what they've done. Instead of looking at Dillon Gabriel and looking at Shedeur Sanders and saying, can one of these young men be our franchise quarterback of the future, knowing that we have 2 first-round picks in 2026? Make sure you know what's in your building before you have to go scout and evaluate those next crop or that next crop of quarterbacks. And so for me, they took the easy way out. But Adam Schefter said it yesterday, right? When we look at the depth chart, who's listed as number 2 is now what's important. Is that Kenny Pickett, and you're going to say, okay, now we're going to play the 2 older guys, or are you going to be getting either Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders ready to play like Chris?
The Cleveland Browns have done it again. Just when you thought this franchise couldn't possibly find a new way to embarrass itself, they pull a move so ridiculous, it makes you wonder if their front office is being run by people who lost a bet at a Waffle House. The Browns actually had the nerve, the audacity, the unmitigated gall to list Shedeur Sanders, one of the most hyped and promising young quarterbacks in football, as their 4th-choice quarterback. 4th. As in behind the guy holding the Gatorade cups, the janitor sweeping the locker room, and probably even the stadium dog mascot. Swagger.
Oh my goodness! The Browns just released their unofficial depth chart heading into week 2, and Shedeur Sanders is still listed at 4. 14 of 23, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns. What else is he supposed to do? They gave him an opportunity, and he showed out. Joe Flacco starting week 1, okay, that's fine. He's a veteran. I understand that. But Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel should not be above Shedeur Sanders. Absolutely not.
And Shannon Sharpe? Oh, he wasn't having it. Uncle Shay Shay went nuclear. He lit up the Browns with more passion than a preacher on Sunday morning. The man's voice was cracking, veins popping, and you just knew somewhere in Cleveland, a Browns executive was nervously chewing his tie like, we're about to trend again.
No reasonable person thinks Sanders will be fully ready to lead a team and consistently attack a complicated defense 3 weeks from now. He's shown enough talent and growth, however, to make anyone believe he should be on the team and have a chance to develop into a starting quality player. Sanders is talented. His throw out of the end zone to wide receiver Greg Labardin in the preseason opener, and his floater down the sideline to receiver Luke Floria later are proof. Until we see Sanders get practice reps with the number 1 offense, we can't believe the Browns view him as having much of a shot to be the number 2 when the season begins.
If you look at the stats, you'd clearly see that Shedeur Sanders is already the 4th best QB in Browns team history.
Yep.
He's thrown 0 interceptions, which is a franchise record, and he's lost 0 games, so he's undefeated.
Yep.
So by my ranking, I currently have Shedeur Sanders at number 4 behind Bernie Kosar, Joe Flacco, and Spurgeon Wynn.
Just undeniable statistical analysis that Tony.
Let's just be clear here. Being the 4th-choice quarterback for the Cleveland Browns is like being told you're the 4th best chef in a Waffle House kitchen. Congratulations. You're competing with one guy who burns toast, another who can't crack an egg, and a third who thinks syrup is a food group. The Browns have been quarterback graveyard central for decades. They've run through quarterbacks faster than Hollywood runs through celebrity divorces. And they want to put Shedeur Sanders, Deion Sanders' son, the kid who carries primetime DNA, down at number 4. That's not just disrespectful, that's career malpractice.
Number 2 role still up for grabs. You guys still competing for that number 2 role?
Number 2 role?
Like number 2 starting quarterback.
Oh, honestly, bro, I really don't look into that. I don't care. Whenever it's time for me to get out there and play, I'm going to play. Whenever it's time for the lights to come on, I'm going to do my thing. I'm not concerned about when it is. I'm not concerned about,
how many reps I'm getting at this point is what it is. Because I know when the lights come on, when everything go on, when the pressure's on, you know who I am. And I'm always be that way.
Shannon Sharpe practically called it out for what it was, pure clownery. He basically accused the Browns of sabotaging Shedeur before he even gets a shot. And honestly, it tracks. Because this is the same Browns organization that drafted Johnny Manziel, threw him into games without a plan, and then acted surprised when the guy spent more time at Vegas clubs than in the film room. It's the same team that had Baker Mayfield doing commercials every 5 minutes while forgetting that, oh yeah, maybe he should win some football games first.
And I agree with what they're saying, but that's my point is, okay, you saying, have we seen enough? Have you seen enough of Dylan? What have you seen from Dylan Gabriel to make you think he can be number 2?
Excuse me, who wrote that?
The Browns Athletic Insider.
The Browns Athletic Insider, right?
Yep.
So you see Shedeur do what he does. 3 quarters of football.
Uh-huh.
3, I think maybe played well into the 4th quarter, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So in a live game, you saw him play the way he played and still question if he can do the same thing when he has the actual starters at his disposal.
The Browns treat quarterbacks the way a toddler treats toys. They play with them for 5 minutes, break them, then cry for a new one. And now they want Shedeur Sanders to stand in line as the backup to the backup's backup? Please. Shannon Sharpe was right to explode. He basically said what the rest of America was thinking. If Shedeur Sanders is 4th choice in Cleveland, that just means he's 1st choice anywhere else.
All right, black and white sports reporters. Well, I swear to you, I was not making another Browns video today. I had a New York Giants Jackson Dart video all lined out, had all my ducks in a row, just about to hit record when the Cleveland Browns done went and did this. They have announced their unofficial depth chart, and this is per the ClevelandBrowns.com website for their 3rd preseason game versus the Rams, and to tell you that the Browns fandom, more specifically the Shedeur Sanders fandom, is crashing out on a new level. And I got to tell you right now, this QB2 situation is a...
Let's not forget, this is Shannon Sharpe we're talking about. The man doesn't hold back. When he goes off, he really goes off. And you could tell he took this one personally because he knows the Sanders family. He knows what Shedeur brings to the table. He knows the kid can actually play. And the Browns just turned him into a practice squad prop. It's almost like the franchise enjoys being a punchline. If losing was a sport, the Browns would be undefeated Super Bowl champs every single year.
My thing is, he says no reasonable person thinks Sanders will be fully ready to lead a team and consistently attack a complicated NFL defense 3 weeks from now. What about Dylan Gabriel? Has he shown you enough to make them believe that 3 weeks from now he can lead this team against a complicated defense? I digress even further. Has Kenny Pickett ever shown you that he can lead a team?
Imagine being Shedeur Sanders, walking into that locker room and realizing you're sitting behind 3 quarterbacks who probably can't even spell quarterback. One of them probably still uses Madden as a playbook. Another is just happy to be getting free snacks in the training room. And Shedeur? He's got NFL DNA, talent, and swagger, but Cleveland has him holding a clipboard like he's an unpaid intern.
I mentioned it at the very end of my last video that hasn't been out but like 2.5 hours, that it would be, watch it. I said, I think, quote, watch him mess around and put Kenny Pickett as QB2. Well, son of a bitch. I don't know what to tell you guys, but they have put Kenny Pickett as QB2 right there. He hadn't played a snap this preseason at all during a game. Dylan Gabriel is QB3. Shedeur Sanders.
No wonder Shannon Sharpe blew a gasket. He went on about how ridiculous it was, and honestly, you could almost hear Deion Sanders somewhere in Colorado polishing his shades, shaking his head like, see? This is why I told y'all not to trust Cleveland. Because let's be real, the Browns don't just ruin careers, they ruin hope. They ruin optimism. They ruin Sundays for entire families who sit down thinking, maybe this year will be different, only to watch their quarterback get sacked 8 times and throw 3 interceptions by halftime.
Because all I know is that what I keep hearing is what you're telling me what he can't do. Like my coach just said in college, but hey, find something that he can do. See, you keep telling me what Shedeur can't do. Well, your job as a coach is to put players in position and find something that they can do.
Wait a minute, but where's the can't coming from when we just saw him do it? I know it's a small sample size, it's 3/4 of football, but everything you said he can't do, he just did. Matter of fact, he just did what we already saw him do at Jackson State. He just did what we saw him do at Colorado.
And now, they've dragged Shedeur Sanders into their circus. Shannon Sharpe called them out because he knows what's coming. They'll waste the kid's potential, blame him when things fall apart, and then toss him aside like yesterday's box score. That's the Browns way. So yes, Shannon Sharpe exploded, and he should have. Because somebody has to protect Shedeur Sanders from becoming the next name on the long, tragic list of quarterbacks destroyed by the Cleveland Browns' incompetence. If Cleveland keeps this up, the only quarterback they'll ever develop properly is the one playing on Madden in a fan's living room.
Got to get back to the Dylan Gabriel. He completed
okay.
8 of his first 9 passes, threw a pick 6, bad decision, but was later credited with a fumble on a botched handoff. After the game, he made some very, very interesting comments. He said, there are entertainers and there are competitors, and my job is to compete. He tried to clarify later at the presser, saying he meant the media are the entertainers and a competitor, and he's a competitor, and he wasn't taking a shot at Shedeur.
At this point, Shannon Sharpe didn't just go off on the Browns, he gave them the roast they deserved. Because when you're a franchise that's more famous for your quarterback failures than your actual wins, you've earned every syllable of his rage.